Welcome to the Daily AI News Digest. This broadcast and explainer is sponsored by bestai.org. I'm your host, and today is June 16th, 2026. Let's look at today's market realities. We're bypassing the noise to deliver a grounded, analytical look at exactly what is moving the artificial intelligence sector today.
On the rundown today, we're covering the macro market shifts shaping the industry, structural updates to enterprise models, new policy guardrails emerging from the US and the Middle East, and finally, a sober analysis of current deployment bottlenecks.
Section 1. Biggest moves today. Market realities and sovereign funding.
Let's start with the broader financial landscape. The market saw a significant relief rally today following a tentative U.S.-Iran peace framework established in Geneva. With the anticipated reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, global oil prices have plummeted. For the tech sector, which is heavily tied to the massive energy requirements of AI data centers, this easing of energy costs acted as a direct catalyst. The S&P 500 closed up 1.7%, the Nasdaq jumped 3.1%, and in Asia, Japan's Nikkei index topped the 70,000 mark for the first time.
Moving from public equities to private sovereign funding, we look to the Indian market. Today, India produced its newest homegrown AI unicorn, Sarvam AI. The firm reached a $1.55 billion valuation following a $234 million Series B raise led by IT services giant HCL Tech. This is a highly strategic capital allocation, signaling a push to integrate domestic, culturally adapted foundation models directly into established global enterprise sales pipelines.
To contextualize that funding globally, we turn to the 2026 Stanford AI Index. U.S. private investment reached $285.9 billion over the past year, maintaining a massive capital lead over China's $12.4 billion. However, despite this vast capital disparity, the technical performance gap between the two nations has effectively closed. Models from both countries are frequently trading the top benchmark spots. Furthermore, if you look at innovation density, South Korea currently leads the globe in AI patents per capita.
Section 2. Product and model realities, agentic infrastructure, and physical AI.
Transitioning from macro capital to technical rollouts, the industry is demonstrating a clear operational shift toward agentic infrastructure. Today, Microsoft officially made its Work IQ APIs generally available. This represents a foundational pivot in enterprise software architecture. We are moving away from applications built solely for human interaction toward a framework where autonomous agents can reason, retrieve context, and act upon Microsoft 365 data in the background, all without requiring explicit human prompts.
Accompanying this infrastructure rollout is Microsoft's new in-house model, MAI Thinking 1. This is a highly efficient, 35 billion parameter reasoning model with a 256K context window. Notably, it was trained entirely from scratch with zero distillation, utilizing only commercially licensed data to ensure secure enterprise deployment. Initial data shows it outperforming competing models like Sonnet 4.6 on independent blind tests, focusing heavily on long context reasoning and code generation.
Meanwhile, the Chinese technological ecosystem is aggressively pivoting its focus from digital chatbots to physical AI. The Beijing Academy of Artificial Intelligence unveiled FISES V0.1, described as a general world model designed to understand real-world physics. Concurrently, Alibaba launched a suite of AI models engineered specifically for robotic agents. In Europe, we saw a similar physical focus at Vivatech 2026, where University debuted a platform aimed at integrating AI reasoning directly into physical energy and industrial assets. This clearly illustrates an emerging bifurcation in the global market. Analysts are observing a split between U.S. premium intelligence and Chinese commodity intelligence. U.S. models continue to dominate complex reasoning, advanced coding, and high-trust enterprise applications, but they carry much higher operational costs. Conversely, Chinese developers are utilizing efficient mixture of experts' architectures to capture routine tasks, summarization, and basic coding at heavily reduced unit economics.
Section 3. Regulation and policy signals, security directives, and sovereign governance.
Across the globe, national security and sovereign data control are taking precedence over basic commercial compliance. In the United States, President Trump's recently issued executive order on advanced AI innovation sets strict near-term deadlines for federal agencies. Within 30 days, departments must prioritize the cyber defense of national security systems and establish an AI cybersecurity clearinghouse. Within 60 days, the government will establish a classified benchmarking process to determine which frontier models meet the threshold for mandatory federal security engagement before they can be broadly released.
We are already seeing the direct application of this security-first posture.
Today, the U.S. Commerce Department ordered a commercial suspension, blocking foreign national access to two major frontier AI models. This directive was issued following reports of exploits that could bypass built-in guardrails, allowing the models to be manipulated into identifying vulnerabilities in critical national infrastructure.
We're seeing similar structural commitments internationally. The United Arab Emirates has formally established the Federal Authority for Artificial Intelligence and Data. This new body consolidates oversight and sets a hard institutional target, delivering 50% of all government services through agentic AI within the next 2 years. It's a massive nation-scale commitment to automated public infrastructure.
To support this scale of global deployment, the required human infrastructure is immense. Acknowledging this, OpenAI has launched a $150 million partner network. Their objective is to formally certify 300,000 AI integration consultants globally by the end of 2026. They're effectively shifting capital toward the workforce required to actually implement these systems.
Section 4. The Analyst's Take. Why this matters now.
Let's look at the cold business reality of what these developments actually mean for enterprise capital allocation. We are cutting through the noise to assess the operational impact. The crucial point is captured perfectly in this analysis from the Asanafi HR Digest. The fixation on parameter counts and benchmark scores is fading. The actual immediate bottleneck for the industry is integration. The fact that frontier labs are now funding the training of implementers tells you that wiring these models securely into legacy enterprise workflows is the primary hurdle to realizing commercial value.
When that integration does occur, the structural shifts are significant. Hard projections from the Josh Bersin Company indicate that agentic AI frameworks could shrink human resources departments by 30 to 50% by the year 2030. This model involves substituting traditional headcount with up to 130 specialized software agents handling tasks from recruiting all the way to workforce planning.
Because of the magnitude of these structural shifts, evaluation metrics are completely changing. At their recent Data and Analytics Summit, Gartner analysts urged IT leaders to expand their frameworks. Beyond simple return on investment, organizations must now measure value on investment, the entirely new capabilities gained, and most critically, evaluate the terminal risk of inaction. In an agentic economy, the cost of falling behind may very well be existential.
Looking ahead to the remainder of 2026, the market is closely tracking two primary vectors: the physical convergence of power grids and data centers, and the anticipated IPO filings from major AI laboratories that will severely test public market sentiment. It leaves us with a critical question. As the models themselves become commoditized, is your organization investing in the raw intelligence or the infrastructure required to wield it? Thank you for tuning in to this explainer of the Daily AI News Digest. Remember to visit our sponsor at bestai.org for more grounded analysis. I'm your host, and we'll see you next time.